You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and a sub mounts one of the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you to the Let's Play episode of Superfang's Path. So yeah, before we jump into it, just want to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. Copycat. Alright. This being one of them. That's right. Trust me, Nick, the less we know, the better. I'm a bit surprised to hear that from you. Why? Because I'm a scientist who happens to have powers? I can't let my curiosity go. Nothing good would come of this kind of inquiry. Just think of all the ways this kind of knowledge could be misused. To make more of us? Well, not us exactly. You're a bit of a special case here. Right, but I mean superpowered folks in general. Yes, that would be my concern. I've heard the numbers are increasing anyway. They are. That's trouble on its own. Although it remains to be seen whether that's a true trend in growth or merely more publicity. And a better survival rate. Survival rate? Yeah, a bit of a change from the first generation. Used to be you weren't guaranteed protection from your own powers. Plenty of poor bastards died because they had no protection from their own flames or acid breath or what have you. It wasn't pretty. Cases like that are rare nowadays. I shudder thinking about the implications of what Dr. Lawson is saying. There's so many ways a superpower could go wrong. That's a pretty fast adaptation. Right? Not even close to the standard timeline for evolutionary adaptation. Well, that aside, I read that not long ago that more and more teens are discovering powers, especially in the states around New Mexico. Aftershocks of the Trinity disaster, no doubt. I suspect the population will even out more across the world as time passes. But it's true, America has the largest rate of occurrence at this point. So you really don't do any research into this? As far as I know, there still isn't a good explanation for what happened. Oh, there's an explanation, Nick. Idiocy, plain and simple. But as for the mechanisms behind all this, there are plenty of explanations, but you're right that they aren't very good. Best I've heard was Jackson back in the 90s proposing a theory based on quantum fluctuations in the... Lila pauses, frowning, and throws her head back and laughs. Sheesh, how did we get to talking about all this nonsense? I just wanted to get to know you a little. Sorry, I guess I was just curious about what you do. And instead I ranted about what I don't do. Oh well. She chuckles to herself again. That's when Vince appears through the door behind her, rubbing the crook of his left arm as he walks. All done! Good boy. Not painful at all now, was it? Of course not. All good. Something tells me the tiger isn't all that fine with needles. I appreciate it. Had a nice chat here? We'll need some more time, champ. I was hoping you could leave Nick with me so I can get to know him a little better. Oh, sure. His disappointment at essentially being asked to leave us alone is palpable. I'd go hang with Blake then, until you two are done. He'll be fine. He's not doing anything that important right now. Great! Oh, but before I go, the costume got a bit torn up last night, so I was hoping you could take a look. Sure. You still got spares? Yup. Alright, give it to me. I've been thinking of making a couple improvements anyway. Awesome! Thanks, Lila! Let's go grab coffee from the cafeteria, and then we can talk in my office. Sure thing. We walk down the stairs and back into the atrium. There are a bunch of tables and chairs in the central area with two small stalls to the side. Copycat grabs a coffee with cream for herself and plain coffee for me, and we head back up to the third floor. Vinny mentioned you're a college student. Yeah, not in STEM like you two, though. Well, he's not serious about it anyway. Isn't he? He seems to be working pretty hard for his med school applications. That's just something he thinks he ought to be doing. Mark my words, it won't be long before he abandons all that entirely for this hero nonsense. It's a shame. He has a good head on his shoulders. He'd do fine if he pursued a graduate degree here. I stay quiet as I mull over her words until we get to her office. The cat points to an armchair to the side of her desk for me before sitting down in her chair. She sips her coffee with her eyes closed, smacking her lips in delight. Meanwhile, I get a chance to glance at her desk. She has some photos framed there, the most prominent being of her much younger self next to a male cat hugging her shoulder. Yes, ask if that's her husband, because I'm a nosy fuck. Taking you out, water time. As my eyes linger on the photo, I open my mouth to ask the question, but Lila speaks before I can do so. That's my brother, Abe. We took that photo about 2 months before he enlisted in the army. He was killed in action in Burma just months after that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Lila leans back, sighing. He really wanted to serve his country. My dad was in the army, too. He wanted me to join, I guess for the same reason. I'm glad you didn't, then. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to be nosy. It's fine, Nick. Thank you. Her smile was gentle and warm. I imagine Vinny is doing a fair job mentoring you? Yeah, he's great. Tim giving you any trouble? Well... I know. He hates when things spiral so wildly out of control. It's all good. He seems to have chilled out since our first meeting. I would have expected him to take your training on himself. He wanted Nisus to do it. I heard you already had a chance to see some action. Yep. Did you enjoy that? Well, stopping bad guys is why I have this bracelet, so it was cool to put it into action. Fair enough, I doubt any Templar is capable of sitting it out. She chuckles as she says that. Can I ask why you decided to quit being a superhero? I hate that word. We had some disagreements, Tim, Emma, and I. Michael, too, I suppose. And I was tired of the pretense. So much preening, cries for attention. I don't know. You can probably tell well enough that I find this superpowers business troubling. Yeah, but we're doing a lot of good, right? I don't know, Nick. Are we? Without us, the cops would need to deal with supervillains, or worse, have armed soldiers in cities battling it out. Lately, I see far more of these so-called superheroes clearly chasing fame and glory. And that just encourages more people to dress up in silly costumes and go out there begging for attention, instead of doing something useful with their powers. I guess I can see where you're coming from, but as long as they do some good in the process, does it really matter? It changes you, Nick. Having these powers, and we know it. Each of us. You get caught up in it. It makes you special. You think, and suddenly you see everything that happens around you through the lens of that power of yours. If one is a hammer, one tends to look for nails. She nods, looking tired. I wonder if Vince has mentioned what my weapon is now. And there's lots of hammers to go around. Have you noticed how my often powers are tailor-made for combat? Huh. I never really thought about that. Is that true? I mean, there's Unbound. She mostly does research and rescue, right? Phasing through fallen debris, all that? She could reach into your insides with a phased knife and leave it there for a nasty surprise if she wanted to. Well, but she doesn't. Oh, I'm well aware. Emma's admirable in her approach, but her power could be used for that, and that's what I find disturbing. But that just shows that it comes down to the wielder. Superfang could, I don't know, work construction or something. Yet he doesn't. Well, I guess he feels more useful here. It's not about that, not for him, but he certainly is made to feel more useful here, no? Just look at Spec and see how many superpowered youngsters they're encouraging to use their pyrokinesis for glasswork. I can't help but laugh at that, even though Copycat seems dead serious. I see your point. Speaking of which, watch your background, Gregory. Oh, you don't have to tell me that. Frankly, I wouldn't have signed up with Spec at all if, well, it didn't seem to be standard procedure with the Sentinels. She tilts her head to the side, seeming surprised. Huh, now that's nice to hear. It's my turn to be taken aback. Is that you disagreed with on with the others? Ha, very astute. It was one of the topics, yes. I see. It was silly of me in hindsight. We wouldn't be able to exist while at odds with the federal government. It's just the reality we live in, which was why quitting entirely was the easier choice. That's unfortunate. Wish you were still on the team. Oh, don't you start with that nonsense too. I got enough of it from Vinny. We sip from our respective cups of coffee. I think I should apologize. I wanted us to get to know each other a little. Not to proselytize at you. Oh, no, not at all. I mean, it was really interesting talking with you. Yes, I can say the same to you. We'll have more opportunities to chat for sure, but for now, I don't think you should keep our tiger waiting much longer. Second, y'all. Water time. I hope your assistant doesn't find him annoying. Blake, he's a grunt, but that's all. Pay him no mind. Ha, good to hear. Do you need help finding the lab again? Nope, I know where to go. Thanks for the coffee, Lila. It was nice meeting you. Be good now. I waved from the door, smiling, and emerged into the hallway. Copycat's profile has been unlocked. Let's see. Profiles. Copycat, okay. Middle name, Dr. Lila Lawson. Species, Calico Cat. Powers, copying superpowers from other people. Haven't had a chance to ask her about exact limitations. Occupation, researcher, professor of biophysics at Brownford University. Age 43. Can't tell. She looks pretty young. Birthday, no one knows. Likes Superfang, coffee. Dislikes someone saying she's retired. Her old costume, superhero, Spec. Notes, Copycat wasn't all what I was expecting. While she's clearly fond of Vince and probably the rest of the team, she has pretty strong opinions about against superheroes. She seems to dislike Spec too, at least, and Greg by extension, so we're on the same page there. Either way, she has given me a lot to think about. Yeah. Alright. Vince is leaning against a window by the rabbit's desk, humming. With a quick goodbye, we leave Blake hunched over his work. What'd you think? Well, she's, interesting. I know, right? Does she often come by to our hideout? Not a lot. Mostly we need something urgently. Cool. Well, I look forward to meeting her again, that's for sure. Training tomorrow? Yeah, I feel like flying, though. So let's meet up in the city during the day this time, maybe? Sounds good to me. To be continued. Had a feeling. Alright, y'all. Oh, yeah. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.